All right, you guys, I'm going to be talking about the different types of deadlifts. So first up, we are going to step up to the bar and corkscrew your feet, as you can see she's doing. Then we're going to connect A to B, so you can see her upper fingers are meeting her other hand. I like to kind of say, pretend that you got punched in the side of the stomach, so if you all want to practice that, and then try engaging your core like that. It's so important in the deadlift because we do not want a lower back arch. Next, we're going to practice the hinge movement. So practice pushing your bum into your hands and practice this because it's such a hard movement for people to grasp properly. Next, we're going to engage your lats. So your lats are those two wing-shaped muscles in your back, and they're so important to engage before beginning the deadlift. Otherwise, you're going to cause strain to your back. Then you can grip the bar. I like to do one hand underhand and the other hand overhand, but that's just personal preference. So when you grip the bar, I like to tell people to pretend to break the bar in half. That causes you to engage your lats. Then all you have to do, I know it sounds simple, easier said than done, but stand up and push your feet into the ground and then lower that bar. So what I would like you to do is practice the hip hinge with a kettlebell or a dumbbell behind your back before starting the deadlift because that's going to help so much. It'll help you master that hip hinge movement. Okay, so the first movement I'm doing is a conventional deadlift. So here I did a slow-mo of me engaging my lats. I know it's a bit hard to see with the shirt that I'm wearing, but I think you can tell. Then I drive my heels through the ground. I stand up, squeeze those glutes to the top, and then lower the bar back to the ground. In the conventional deadlift, I keep a bend in my knees the entire time, and I also lower the bar to the ground every time. So the plates are touching the floor every time. The conventional deadlift, like I said, starts and ends from the floor, and it takes every muscle in your legs and entire body to do so. So it requires your quads, your hamstrings, your glutes, everything. So, as well as your back. So the next movement I show is called a stiff leg deadlift. So here you can tell that I'm not bending my legs on the way down, but the bar still starts and ends from the floor. So I keep my legs nice and straight, my back is super flat, my legs stay straight. That's the difference between the conventional deadlift and a stiff leg deadlift. Okay? So then the next movement is called a Romanian deadlift. So the difference here is that the plates do not touch the floor. So the barbell is also kept really close to the body when performing the RDL or the Romanian deadlift compared to the stiff leg deadlift, which you could see that the barbell was a bit further away from my body in the previous video when my legs were stiff. So the difference is that the RDL stops at the shins, so it doesn't meet the floor, okay? So all three deadlifts develop the strength of your posterior chain muscles, so the muscles in your back, your glutes, and your hamstrings. But the RDL works your glutes and hamstrings more than a conventional deadlift because the quads don't contribute as much. And then the stiff leg deadlift also has an emphasis on the hamstrings. So I hope this helped. Let me know if you have any questions at all. I know that when I first started out, I had so many questions about the deadlift.